What's good, YouTube? Today I figured I'd bring you guys another top 5. This time it's going to be my top 5 favorite Hoenn Pokemon. Um, yeah, this is a series where I go through each generation and tell you my top 5 Pokemon from that generation. The reason I do this instead of like rating every Pokemon or like talking about the generation as a whole is because most of the time I'm very picky with my teams in these generations, and I don't like a lot of the Pokemon from them, so I figure it's just easier to talk about the ones I do like than try and like find things to like about other Pokemon that I've never used. Um, but yeah, starting with number 5. Up next at number 5, we have Flygon. This Pokemon like has had an interesting history. It was supposed to get a Mega Evolution, but they scrapped it because they couldn't find a design that didn't look too much like fan art. It had a great run in Jirachi Wishmaker, which is one reason why it's a notable Pokemon to people because that movie cemented it as a solid Pokemon. Um, it has the weird distinction of having the same exact attack stat as its base form, Trapinch, and no, it's definitely not the same. But its attack stat is, and that's weird. It needs buffs, it needs love, but the design is fantastic, and and it's my number 5 Hoenn Pokemon. All right, at number 4, we've got Blaziken. Now, Blaziken is the first firefighting starter that we ever got. It's just got a really solid stat spread, really solid move pool. It had a signature move in Gen 3 called Blaze Kick. Um, its appearances in the anime, like Blaziken is the reason why we still know the name of an otherwise no-name character in Harrison. Um, yeah, that battle with Charizard was epic. Um, Mega Blaziken is just more Blaziken, and that's always nice. For the Gen 5 enjoyers, the story about Alder's Blaziken was tragic. For the Gen 6 enjoyers, the old man having a Blaziken and just absolutely dominating Karina's Lucario was fantastic. Um, but yeah, this thing's had a very storied competitive history. It's just it's a very cool mon. The design's fantastic. The shiny's really good, surprisingly, considering that it's not really all that different. Um, it's it's a good mon, and it's my number 4 spot. Coming in at number 3, next at number 3, we've got Metagross. Now, this thing has quite the storied competitive history, especially in singles. The thing went ham in Gen 3. It has only gotten better since because it's gotten things like Bullet Punch and Iron Head and just a bunch of other things. Its stats are obviously fantastic, being a pseudo legendary, with its only bad stat being speed. Now, and its appearance in the Destiny Deoxys movie was fantastic. All of its battles in the anime, which are usually like top battles against Ash, are really but what really gets me about it is the lore behind it. It's supposed to be a culmination of four Beldum fusing together because first two Beldum fuse into a Metang, and then two Metang fuse into Metagross. And then for Mega Metagross, it's supposed to be what would happen if two Metagross fused together. Now, another thing that also gets me is the fact that the mouth you see there, or what looks like it could be its mouth underneath the X, is not its mouth. Its mouth is actually on the bottom, and it uses its legs to pin down its prey and eat them that way. Yeah, that's a legit Pokédex entry. But yeah, the design's great. The shiny's peak. Especially in Scarlet and Violet, where they gave that metal sheen to steel types. But yeah, that's Metagross, my number three Hoenn Pokemon. Up next at number two, next up at number two, we have Deoxys. Now, Deoxys has an interesting history. Being a mythic, it's never been allowed in VGC tournaments. Um, I'm pretty sure it hasn't even been distributed on the Switch yet. So yeah, it definitely shouldn't be allowed in VGC tournaments in that case. Um, but it's not a typical mythical. It doesn't have 100 across the board. In fact, all of its various forms, being its normal form, which you see here, its attack form, which you see here, uh, its defense form, and its speed form, all have stats that reflect their um, form change. Now, in my opinion, the speed form is absolutely unnecessary, considering that the attack and defense form both have 150 speed. Um, yeah, I just like the way this thing can transform, and I wish they had given it an ability to reflect that instead of giving it pressure. I don't like the fact that you can only use one form at a time in battle. I think at least for the attack and defense form, it should switch forms on the fly, kind of like Hoenn can do. Um, or not Hoenn, Aegis, you know the one. Um, but yeah, being mono-psychic doesn't really have a great typing. Its stats are crazy, especially its special attack and speed. This thing is the definition of a mixed attacker. You can make it either or you can make it mixed. It just and the speed is incredible. Even to this day, this thing has good speed. Um, the design it's called the DNA Pokemon because it can alter shape and form at will. And as you can see from the helix pattern that its arms are formed into, it's meant to reflect the double helix that shapes our DNA. Um, but yeah, its appearance in Destiny Deoxys was great. Um, just it decided to pull a home invasion on Rayquaza and got blasted for it, and then the second one showed up and um, yeah, took over an entire city looking for its friend, and yeah, it was kind of funny, but yeah, um, but yeah, that's my second favorite Hoenn Pokemon. At number one, next up at number one, we have the Emerald Box mascot, the best legendary in Gen 3, Rayquaza. Now, this thing has a history competitively for the first 4 or 5 generations, or well, for the first 2 generations that it was active, being Gen 4 and Gen 5. Well, I guess it was active in Gen 3 too, but they didn't really have VGC until Gen 4, so. Um, but yeah, this thing had crazy history in Gen 4 and 5. And then in Gen 6, it got the Mega. It was crazy. Um, just I've always liked this thing. I like the fact that it's so hard to find in Sky Pillar. I like the fact that it isn't really mentioned at all in Ruby and Sapphire, and then Emerald has the entire game dedicated to it. Um, but yeah, its stats are fantastic. It, once again, is a mixed attacker. It's got solid speed for a legendary. Its ability is crazy considering that it nullifies weather conditions, and in Gen 3, 4, and 5, weather conditions were everything. Weather they didn't call Gen 5 the Weather Wars for nothing. And then in Gen 6, it got a flying type close combat. Its Mega Evolution could hold items besides the Mega Stone. Um, its Mega's ability negated flying type's weaknesses. It's an overall solid mon, and yeah, that's why it's my number one favorite Hoenn Pokemon. Um, I just wanted to say thank you guys for 31 subscribers. I know it's probably getting old with me and now like thanking you guys for every single subscriber I get, but yeah, everyone really does mean the world to me. But yeah, like, comment, share, and subscribe. This has been Delteros. Try to leave like 10 likes on this video. These videos aren't particularly hard to make, but they do take some extra work, and I mean, that's why you generally only get one a week. But try and leave 10 likes. I think we can do that. Alright, this has been Delteros. Don't be me. Be better.